Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Big Gauchos, Stock Investing Show. It's completely out of pocket. Up with money in your pocket. I'm Austin, back with the boys, back after a brief hiatus.
Hey, what's up, big gauchos? We are back with another banger video.
Yes, sir. What's up, Big Gauchos? It's Big Gaucho Dave. We are back. We had a little bit of a break because there was a bunch of holidays right after the other. We don't do shows on holidays because I don't know, we just don't. But if you're new here, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate all the love and support. And without further ado, let's get into the episode.
Yes, sir. Missed quite a bit since the market was not open on Monday. Didn't get quite a lot of stories out of there. So here we are coming at you hot for Friday. But first story we got up, newly elected President Joe Biden. That's interesting to say. Will widely distribute and reimburse states that are purchasing the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. Ooh. What does this mean for us? FEMA is going to set up about 100 vaccination centers by February. So it's coming up very fast. And the US government has already purchased about 200 million doses of the vaccine for the illness that we cannot name from Moderna so far. And they have an option to purchase an additional 200 million more vaccines. Biden and his new CDC director, Rochelle Walensky, just started a program that's going to put most pharmacies with the vaccine starting in April, and could be as soon as February. So keep that in mind. Could get pretty wide distribution of this, but I know we were talking a little bit before the show because me and Big Gaucho Tyler, we had some shares of Pfizer that due to some math beyond our control with the market cap did not do too well. That's okay. But does this mean that Moderna has some big growth potential? It might be too late for Pfizer, but Moderna is still a young company.
Actually, I think Moderna is the winner of the race. They're up $7 on the day today, I believe, based off of this news. Yeah, I was all for Pfizer. You know, they got the first vaccine and first movers. I was really holding it down for them, even though their stock went down like $5 from what I bought it at.
I know.
Will they bounce back? Potentially. Austin did make a great point with the market cap being very high. Do you remember what it was at?
I would have to double check to get an exact figure, but what I do know is that it is an older company and a lot of their other drugs were not performing the best. So, just in addition to that and the market cap of 202.83 billion, they're not going to be doing so hot. But
Yeah,
I think Moderna has some room to squeeze some more growth out of it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Long term, I still think Pfizer will do okay, especially when we get to more global distribution of the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, are there other stocks that potentially could give you more profits in like a span of 6 months? Probably. So I'm kind of contemplating selling some of that position, cutting my losses on that because they have not been holding up. But we'll see what I do. Still a long ways before I make a final decision on that. Comment below on what should I do.
Yep.
Yeah,
Make sure to leave a comment.
I never bought any of the vaccination companies, Pfizer or Moderna. But when news was coming out that these two companies were going to have a vaccine, I predicted that Moderna was going to be the winner just because of the fundamentals about their shot compared to Pfizer's. Even though Pfizer did have I think it was a 2-week advantage in terms of getting it out earlier. From what I was reading, Moderna's vaccination seemed a lot better. But, Pfizer's still a great company. I think they're the largest pharmaceutical company in the entire world in terms of revenue. So they're not, they don't just do vaccines. They do a lot of research and development, which is a big expense, obviously, for all these companies. And they have some pretty good drugs. But I think they did lose some permits, or not permits. What's it called?
Patents.
Yeah, they lost some patents, I think, over the past couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah, it's no small feat to be the biggest pharmaceutical company in the world, and it's also no small feat to even have your even have your hat in the race for the illness vaccine. That alone is great revenue for the company to make up for other lost areas. So honestly, Pfizer could be a good long-term hold, but in the short term, you're probably going to want to go with Moderna. Just
Definitely.
if you're looking for some quick trades or higher risk, higher growth. Pfizer's very stable, but Moderna's still a new company, so we have yet to see what's going to happen with that for sure.
All right, boys, let's give our ratings. Thumbs up for Moderna for a buy, thumbs down, sell, middle, hold. I think it's a buy.
I would cop that Moderna in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, what
I
about
agree.
Pfizer?
You got to give a thumbs up.
Thumbs it up, big guy.
I'm giving both of them a thumbs up. I think they're both good companies.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy Pfizer again right now just because this doesn't really align with my investing strategy. Kind of trying to go for a little more risk than that. But if it's something you're looking to retire with your portfolio on, then maybe Pfizer's a good pick for you.
Yeah, definitely a hold for me. Yeah, I gotta hold on to it unless I find like a must buy stock that definitely gives me a higher percentage of risk into it, if you know what I mean. But we'll see how it goes. Still a lot to be done,
100%. But that's not the only news we got coming out of the new Biden administration. Along with their increased spending, we also have some more updates that Dave is going to go over with us right now.
Yeah, so if you've been living underneath the rock, the new president, Joe Biden, was officially sworn in on Wednesday, so 2 days ago. And as soon as he got signed in, he started signing a bunch of executive orders. I think it was like 20 or 30 he signed all together throughout Wednesday and Thursday. But the main ones that are going to impact the economy, because that's all we really care about. We don't really care about the other stuff he did too much, at least in terms of the show. But
True.
the things that are going to impact the economy is he's going to try to extend student loan payments that was ceased back in March of last year for people so they don't have to start paying back loans and accumulating debt. And he's also going to try to extend the eviction and foreclosure moratorium. That's been extended for a very long time. That happened back in March as well, and it's been given lots of extensions, and I guess now it's going to be extended even more. And then he also revoked the Keystone XL Pipeline permit. I mean, I don't really know. I guess that kind of sucks for, I think it's TC Canada who owns that pipeline or something. I don't know, but it sucks for them.
Yeah, it's a lot of lost jobs too.
True, yeah, and also kind of sucks for us because that was going to be a lot of oil moving into the country. It was like, I think it was like 70 million barrels or something. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
buy a Plains All American though.
Yeah, we'll get to that later on. But the last thing he did was he rejoined the Paris Climate Agreement, and I'm not too familiar with what it exactly said, so I have to go back and read it because it's been a while since I've actually read what our contribution to it would be. But essentially, it's just going to mean we're going to be cutting down on carbon dioxide emissions throughout the years.
Yeah, and to be honest with you guys, I think the biggest part of all this is the extension of eviction and foreclosures. It's like a volcano just getting ready to erupt. We're putting it off month after month, and I'm not too sure how this is going to affect us in the long term, especially. This is going to be like 2008 housing market crash all over again.
I mean, we knew it was coming. The extension. Obviously, Biden wasn't just going to end it. It doesn't really align with his political parties. I mean, that's just a fact.
Yeah.
But as far as 2008 goes, I don't think it's going to be that bad because most of those mortgages were unregulated, adjustable rate mortgages, and there was a lot of corruption in subprime lending to people with really bad credit and people that didn't even have assets or income to qualify for any of these houses. So the Dodd-Frank Act, which passed under actually Obama and Biden, actually regulates the markets a lot more in the banks, and there's a lot more accountability for those kinds of things. A lot more regulations in a good way. So I don't know if it's actually going to crash like 2008, but we'll see.
So you're saying there won't be a crash?
I mean, at this point, I don't think there ever will. I agree with you that there should be a crash of some proportion, but honestly, they're just going to keep kicking the can down the road at this point.
Yeah, you think they're just never going to take away the eviction or foreclosure moratoriums? Just like, you know what, everybody lives for free. It just Just stay. It doesn't even matter to us anymore.
Honestly, that could be, and then I'd be really upset that I never bought a house because I was like, well, I could have been living here for 4 or 5 years for free. would have been a big savings on the mortgage there.
Dude, yeah, no, tell me about it. But I'm still holding strong on my prediction that definitely something will happen. They can't keep it forever. They can't keep it forever, regardless of how long they do it. People don't get back to work, and they can't afford to pay their houses, and the reason they're even on this what's it called?
Forbearance.
So yeah, exactly. The forbearance programs then definitely means something. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I completely agree. But did it say what date tentatively it was going to be extended to?
No, I didn't look into that yet. These aren't real. I don't think any of these, except for the Keystone Pipeline and the Paris Agreement, are finalized. They're just, I guess, in the process. So I couldn't really figure out exactly the dates and other information. Just that it's pending. That's what it said.
Oh, okay, interesting. Well, maybe that'll be one of those things that they forget to tackle because as of right now, it's still ending in 10 days. The forbearance and eviction moratorium. So I don't know. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, all I know is once our kind of dangerous fiscal spending stops, which I'm sure will stop in the next couple of months, probably just because the Republicans control, or I guess they don't really control the Senate. It's even. It's 50-50 in terms of Democrats and Republicans. But I think there are some Democrats who are more moderate who are kind of against the insane spending we've been doing the past couple of years, actually.
Yeah. Yep, they definitely are. But especially with all three of the branches of government specifically aligned to one party, it's going to be very easy to pass certain laws. So I guess we'll have to see where the next 4 years takes us.
To the moon.
Let's hope so.
Hyperinflation to the moon.
Dude, you're not wrong, man. What
covered puts on GameStop expiring February 5th.
Dude, might have to. The way things going, dude. Actually, this is another story later, foreshadowing. But S&P 500 predictions. We'll see how that is.
I'll have to check that out pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. In 2020, China exported more stuff than any other year on record.
The Chinese economy has grown more than 2% GDP.
Well, official GDP growth has yet to be released by China. It expects that their GDP grew 2%, while the global economy contracted by about 4%. We've tried to film the story 7 times, maybe 8 or 9. So we're just gonna leave it. We're just gonna go to the next one. But we got some more news coming out of 2020 today with that big Bitcoin boom. Unfortunately, Bitcoin has dropped about 11% today after a double spending rumor, which is really interesting. I've never heard of this before. But the theory was that some of the users could spend their Bitcoin twice because there was a glitch in the blockchain and it would allow certain coins to be spent twice. Turns out this was not the case at all. Ultimately, the theory was not true, and the company that was investigating it, called BitMEX, was reporting inaccurately about this. And they were only even reporting like a loss of $21 in the first place. So essentially what had happened was the real problem was that 2 blocks of Bitcoin were being mined at the same time, which was just like a momentary glitch that was quickly fixed. This was enough to trigger a massive sell-off of Bitcoin today because, as you know, very volatile and unregulated. So it was took more than an 11-point drop today, and I think it was still going the last time I checked. So it's pretty brutal today.
Oh yeah, and overall on the day, $100 billion sell-off on all altcoins, including Bitcoin altogether. So take that how you may be. If any type of stock or any type of industry that has $100 billion sell-off, they'd be in big trouble. Bitcoin only went down 11%. They're at like 29,000. I think they might have bounced up a little bit, But what are your guys' thoughts on this type of volatility? Is it a good time to buy, or is it like wait to see if it collapses even more?
I mean, based on why it crashed today, which is pretty much false news, I think it probably might be a good time to buy. I don't think it's going to crash even more. I think it's probably going to be a rebound a little bit because a couple or probably a couple of weeks ago at this point, we had one of our guests on, Zane, and he talked about Bitcoin. He said like for the next 2 years, it's going to be in the bull market just because of some fundamentals based on the coin itself.
The halving.
And I think there's other aspects about it I can't really remember off the top of my head. So I think it's probably gonna be a bounce back. I don't know exactly when it's gonna bottom out, but I don't think it's gonna drop down to like 5K anytime soon.
No,
got you.
I don't think so either. I would probably buy in at about 10K, but I don't think I'll get that opportunity for a couple of years now, especially with all the hype Bitcoin's getting right now as a counter to inflation, quote
Mhm.
unquote. I don't know if it's really the best hedge against it, but that's what people are using it for, and they like the unregulated market.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Honestly, if you want something to go against inflation, buy gold, even though they've been taking a little bit of a hit. But if you want to do a safe alternative, buy gold for sure. I definitely think it's going to go up, even though they're taking a hit.
Yep.
Bitcoin, definitely, if you have some spare money, you want to really risk for a high reward. Like Dave said, it could be a good time, 11% down. It could be a bounce back, some healthy consolidation, even though it was on, false news. I mean, if it drops down to 20,000 tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised either because people want to cash out their Bitcoin. I mean, I feel bad for all the people that bought at $42,000.
Me too.
They definitely should have looked at the graph. But
it's actually
All-time highs.
it's bounced back up to about 39.43. So it's bouncing up and down as we're doing this show.
wait, what's it at
Wait,
right
is
now?
that 39,000?
No, 30,943. So
Oh,
about
Oh, I was like,
about 1,000
what?
points up just in the last hour. No, not 39,000. I would have freaked out more. Don't worry.
Yeah, do you think BitMEX might have done this, purposely maybe to cause the prices to crash? They could buy in.
Maybe.
Ooh,
Not being
conspiracy
accusatory,
theory.
but it could happen, I guess.
Conspiracy of the decade, and then just resell again at 40.
I mean, nothing is impossible when it comes to Bitcoin. Everything is kind of news based. Everyone goes off of the reactions of what's going on in the world. And, the more people buy, the higher it goes. The more people sell, the lower it goes. So take that how you may be.
Honestly, Elon Musk could influence the whole Bitcoin market with one tweet. I'm not even kidding. He could probably get the price to go up or down about 5,000 dollars per coin.
Yeah, I mean, it's a domino effect, essentially. You see one domino fall one way, everything will follow it. If you go the other way, then a lot of people follow it as well.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, they took like a multiple $1,000 hit just because of a potential $21 mistake. I mean, imagine what could happen on a larger scale. It could be crazy. It could be Armageddon.
Definitely. Yeah. And, Elon definitely has a big influence because I think a couple of weeks ago he was tweeting about this one company that was like encrypted messaging. And they're not a public company, but people started buying this company that had the same name as it. And they made the company jump up like 1,500% in one day, which is
Jeez.
absurd.
That's so insane. I need to make sure I give him a follow on Twitter. Put tweet alerts on. Doesn't count
yeah,
as
I mean,
insider trading.
If you want to, hedge against inflation, gold is probably a good one. Bitcoin may be a good one, but another good one is probably, some good old fashioned oil. You can just store it in your pool or something and wait for someone to go and buy it.
Oh, yeah. Put it in my backyard. We're bringing it back, boys.
It's true.
I'm starting
Tyler has a reserve in his backyard.
Yeah, I'm starting a Bitcoin mining company in the backyard too. So, come through if you want. Check that out.
Literal mining. But might have to be mining for some profit if Bitcoin doesn't pan out. What's this next story we got up here? They might be able to tell us how we can do it.
So Goldman Sachs is predicting a pretty bullish year for the S&P 500. So in 2020, it closed at 30,756 points, and they're predicting it's going to close about 600 points higher than 2020 and 2021. So they're predicting that at the end of 2021, it's going to close at 4,300 points, which is a huge jump. And they're also expecting that in 2022, it's going to jump up another 300 points to close at 4,600. So what do you guys think about that?
Yikes! I mean, all the people on Wall Street bets buying SPY calls. I think they'll finally get their day. And Goldman Sachs isn't one to lie about these kind of things or even misquote numbers. And they don't mince words either. So if they say something, you should take it pretty seriously. They have very good data.
Yeah, I agree. And
stocks only go up.
And you can always buy what Austin was saying, the SPY ETF index, which tracks the S&P 500 pretty much identically.
Yep.
So that's, you know, a good investment. I think it's about 300 some point per stock, I guess. It's about a tenth of what the S&P 500 is at. But yeah, I mean,
it's a pretty good way to get into it. I don't know if I'd personally be doing that, but I mean, just even looking off where we're at the beginning of the year with the SPY, if I had known it would go up this high, I would have bought some of that ETF. But oh well, 2020 hindsight.
I mean, buying into a index pretty much is what you're doing is pretty safe because, you know, and these indexes really only go up. I mean, they're going to have downturns, you know, of course, like in 08 and 2000, they have temporary downturns, but over the long run, they're going to increase in value. So it's a pretty safe way to make money, essentially.
We should only hope they do.
Oh yeah, here, take a look at this graph for all those viewers at home. This is the 5-year chart on SPY. Obviously, you see that little dip right there from the crash in March.
Yep.
And then big recovery, and they're better than ever. So Goldman Sachs definitely has a pretty bold prediction, but I think it is feasible. I mean, if they just continue their growth pattern as of right now, they will definitely get that by the end of 2022.
Yep, I would say so too. I'm gonna buy really long-term calls.
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, do you think the Dow Jones would follow as well? Probably break like 35,000, maybe 40,000 by the end of 2022.
I mean, it could be.
My head would be spinning.
I think it was when President Trump first took office. I think the Dow was at like, I can't remember. I want to say like 18,000. I'm not sure if that. What do you guys think? Was that what it was?
The Dow was at 18,000.
Is that what it was, or was it 23,000?
January 23rd, 2017. It was at 20,093.
Yeah, and that was like an all-time high at that time.
Yeah.
And in 4 years, it went up 10,000 points. So I mean, it's kind of exponential in terms of the growth rate, just because of inflation and stuff.
So looking at 30,000, especially with the type of spending that we're getting right now.
Yep.
Within the government, 40,000.
It's pretty crazy. I'd say 50 by next month.
By the end of Joe Biden's term, you might be at like 180,000. You never know.
Oh, I hope not.
Hard to say, but if you're checking out those indices, make sure you're picking up some of the stocks that are also traded under them. We got the biggest winners, the biggest losers, and of course the sleepers for you coming in hot.
Hit that soundtrack.
Boom. What do we got coming at number 1? It looks like some Biden administration friendly stocks.
Pretty much, yeah. The first one definitely is SunPower Corporation, SPWR, up 17.15% on the day. And they do solar power stuff. So, you know, renewable energy is kind of a big thing in the Democratic agenda. So it's going to be booming for the next 4 years at least. Maybe even the next 8 years. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And then number 2, we got Airbnb, ABNB. Kind of cool, I guess. They're up about 12% almost. I don't know. I'm not buying into the Airbnb stock personally.
I'm not either. No profit. All risk, no reward.
But think about it, guys. Airbnb travel might be coming back. So, you know, people might start using Airbnb a little bit more. Could show that on their, reports, or that they are making more money per share. Could potentially, you know, show some positive.
Yeah, I mean, that's
true, but
that's possible. Biden's really good for recovery stocks and renewable energy, but that all remains to be seen, I suppose.
True. And also it's a bit expensive. What is it, like 150 now?
Um, yeah, right around there.
Yeah,
150
it's
is
a little pricey
160s.
and for my book.
No, thank you.
Let's check out some of these losers, though.
Yes, please.
So number one, we've had this company up here quite a lot recently. It's Editus Medicine Incorporated, EDIT, I should say, and they're down 11.11%. And they do CRISPR to edit genomes, and I guess they're just having troubles with incorporating that. Yeah, we talked about them a lot. I don't really want to talk about them too much anymore.
Fair enough. What's the number two? It's a
Number
fan
two,
favorite of the show.
Yeah, it's a fan favorite, and it's Plains All American Pipeline LP, PAA, and they're down almost 8% on the day, which is kind of tragic. I think it's kind of maybe partially due to Biden and his shutdown of the Keystone Pipeline, even though Plains All American is not invested in the Keystone Pipeline, to my knowledge. They don't own it or anything, but they do a lot of transportation of oil and natural gas through pipelines, of course, what their name is associated with, and also through barges and trains and etc.
Huh. Interesting. Sounds like a good long-term hold. America runs on oil, so just a fact.
Definitely. And also oil has been coming back a little bit. If y'all haven't noticed, gas prices have been going up a little bit.
They have.
Interesting. What else is interesting is that TC Pipelines, who's the owner of the Keystone XL Pipeline, their stock is actually up 2.26% today on news of one of probably their biggest pipeline being shut down by the Biden administration.
That's so crazy.
Yep. Stocks literally never go down.
I mean, I think Plains All American is definitely a good buy. Maybe not right now because they have been going up a lot from at least when we bought them. If you can get it around like 750, I definitely recommend buying a little bit for the long term.
Yep.
Definitely has a lot of room for growth.
I would very much agree.
And I'm pretty sure they're profitable, right?
Yeah.
Plains?
Well,
yeah.
Through the past couple quarters, I don't think they have been, but that's just because of circumstances. But over the past couple of years, they've been profitable. Yeah, it's a pretty stable stock. It's kind of like a boomer stock in terms of they give out really good dividends, but they don't really boom in price too often. But if you're looking for that steady cash flow, check out Plains All American.
Yep, make sure you check those out. And also get a good nap in while you're in so you make some good investing decisions. And probably look at these sleepers today.
Sleep.
So number one, we have GameStop, GME. If you're on the subreddit Wall Street Bets, it is pretty much the talk of town for the past couple of weeks now. Pretty much these Wall Street bet bulls are propelling the stock crazy high. I think in December it was like $5, or was it November? It was sometime last year. It was like $5, and now it's at about 45, which is pretty insane. So there's some news coming on that a lot of people, like Citron Group, and there's another one that are shorting the stock right now. And there's news that there's going to be a squeeze in terms of these people who short the stock are going to have to buy the stock back. And that's probably going to propel the stock even higher. I have no idea when the top is going to be, but it may be like $80. You never know. And, the famous saying is can't stop, won't stop, gain stop.
Oh my God. not sponsored yet. I can't lie to you, Dave. I think we talked about this off camera with all of us. You will not be touching it. I will not be touching it. And honestly, I don't think you want to take the chance with it either.
No, I just read a news article. They went up 100% in 2 days. I'm staying away from that thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to put some puts in for like the next 3 months, call some puts options, I definitely would recommend, or some cash covered calls. Definitely want to throw some of that for the long term as well. Man, it's unbelievable seeing all these companies that are near bankruptcy just go up 300, 400%. We've seen this with Hertz. We've seen this with AMC. It's now we got GameStop.
Let's hope AMC goes up 300%. I'll be kind of happy.
I know. Tell me about it. I mean, what's next, Dave? What's the next almost bankrupt company that'll be coming up?
I have no idea.
Number two is a company that was formerly very bankrupt that had to be bailed out by the U.S. government.
We
Yeah.
got General Motors,
Yeah, GM. They've been popping the past couple of weeks just because of news of their electric vehicle production. I guess they kind of cut ties with Nikola and started to do their own stuff. I guess they realized that Nikola wasn't really bringing anything to the table and they could just do everything by themselves.
They realized Trevor Milton was running a pyramid scheme.
Pretty much.
Quick disclaimer: that is not an accusation of fraud, simply a joke.
So GM is popping, and you may want to get in on that before it's too late.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of companies right now that are getting into the EV space that are actually getting bigger. Like as time goes on, we got Ford; they're coming out with a lot of stuff. GM, Lordstown Motors. I think they're the best personally. Workhorse is coming out with their delivery trucks, which also owns 10% of Lordstown Motors. So I guess I am also a part of that company as well. I'm in talks with their CEO to buy them out, but they're not going out without a fight. What other companies are coming out that are EV related?
You got NIO in China.
NIO's been huge this last year.
Mm-hmm. Of course, Tesla, the fan favorite.
Yeah, of course, Tesla. So, I mean, seven notable companies currently getting into this space. I definitely think at least 3 or 4 of them will really get successful out of it. Who knows how this turns out and how people even incorporate it into their everyday lives.
It's very probable. I mean, it's super hard to say. It's really a race to see who can get the technology out first to even come close to rivaling Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
But for that reason, I feel like the EV stocks are pretty risky. So what I like to do is stick to the old traditional route. And that's why I only buy Macy's stock, because I pretend like it's 1980 and I only buy big box retailer stocks and hold it until I retire.
Not anymore. Oh,
Big
do you know
kid.
the Macy's by PV Mall? Well, they're closing now and they're going to start selling off a lot of their fixtures. So I'm going in on Sunday to see what they got.
Oh, I thought you said Macy's bought PV Mall. I was like, what?
No, buy PV Mall.
Oh.
They're closing.
Oh, are they selling the fixtures already?
Yeah, they're gonna start, I think, next week. So I'm gonna go in there and put in my little slip on what I'm interested in. So hopefully get some stuff.
Yeah, call me up. Let me know. I'll come check it out. But
we'll go together. Big Gaucho buyout challenge.
Big Gaucho corporate raider challenge. But we're going to need to pay for a lot of that random store equipment, and we need some extra cash to do that. So we're going to have to do a sponsored ad read from our favorite company, Anchor.
Ooh, Anchor.
Anchor. Hit that ad. Boom. And there are no new additions to the bankruptcy boneyard. Cannot, have not, and will not ever eat at Ruby Tuesday.
That is true.
Said, actually, wait, not enough said on my end, because now we got to get to the Dow Jones game, of which I, in all my immaculate victory, took the dub today at the very last minute. We had a couple 100-point market crash. Really, nobody even came close to me, but we only finished 12 points lower than the day before. So, it's really good to be a humble winner, is what I've learned through all of this. And that's why I'd like to say that I'm better than everybody else, and I believed in myself, and I knew it all along. And with that being said, my prediction for tomorrow will be 31,176.01. Thank you, and may the best person lose.
Jeez.
Or win. Just kidding. Dave's winning. Dave's winning. I'm talking too much.
The Dow Jones has been so flat these past couple of days. It hurts me because I wanted to just crash down or just blow up to 40,000. I don't know what's going on. I guess because of all the presidential stuff and all that, the Dow Jones is kind of seeing what unfolds. But
no, honestly, the stagnation's making me mad too. I wish it would do something dramatic.
Yeah, or at least just give us a trend on what to follow. As of right now, it's just a flat, and obviously it's an uptrend because stocks only go up. But
I just miss those days during the summer when it crash 600 points and then another 600, and then the next day it go up 800 and then down 3 and then up another 7.
I love those days.
Those were
Hopefully
the
it
best
happens
days.
again. Yeah,
Get that
All right,
blood
what do you boys
pumping.
want?
Mhm.
All right, I'm going with 31,300 again.
Respectable.
All right, I guess gotta play the margins. 31,000 flat again.
31,000 flat. Okay. All right. Respectable. You better text that before Canal gets to you guys.
Yeah, I know.
He's waiting. He's just sitting in his phone like they're gonna text the numbers soon.
Mhm. All right, we're in.
Canal is
We're
all of our numbers are in. Canal has his calculator out ready to subtract 100 from the highest or lowest.
pretty much.
Can't blame him. At least he's consistent. But you guys are gonna have to come back on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
For you guys, see what's up. I want to thank you for listening. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed the show. Leave us a voice message on anchor.fm/gauchos or biggauchos.com if you want to send an investing tip we might play on the show. Tyler, disclaimer, please.
All right, big gauchos. Quick disclaimer because we love disclaimers. We are not licensed brokers, and everything said on this podcast is our opinions from our experiences. With that being said, please, please, please invest safely, big gauchos. Do your due diligence. Make sure you know what you're putting your money into because we are not liable for any lost gains, and we are directly liable for all major gains. Because, major gain, gauchos, big money men, gauchos, that's what we do. We make that money. And yeah, please like and subscribe. We're growing every day. I think one of our Alibaba videos broke 300 views. So thank you for that. Love you guys. And Dave, please let the viewers know our amazing Instagram.
Yeah, so the Instagram is, wait for it, at Big Gauchos. So come over, check us out. We got some pretty good content coming out in the next couple of days. We got some pretty good clips that we're gonna be posting. Maybe a little bit of bloopers that we had this episode that we'll put up. We got quite a bit of them, honestly.
Yeah, we had about 25 blooper clips from one story on this episode, so go check it out on Instagram.
But yeah, go check us out and make sure to share the content with your friends and family.
Definitely do that. Also, share the audio link with your friends and family if you're listening to us on YouTube. We'd also really appreciate it if you checked us out on streaming. You can share it on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, Google, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Overcast, or add us to your own RSS feed, anywhere you like. Make sure, especially if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, leave us a rating 1 to 5 stars. We do not accept anything less than 4.5 stars, and leave us a review that is telling us who your favorite Big Gaucho is or something you'd like to see on the episode. Make sure to listen to us at work so your boss thinks you're actually working, but you're actually buying the best stocks in the game from the boys. And guys, we got anything else to add?
Yeah, actually, China has grown 2%.
I can't do this anymore.
I can't do it.
China sold more stuff in 2020 than any other year. All right, good night from Arizona. Hope I made somebody day. Peace.